All right. Get ready for a deep dive into the world of Scottish football.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at Davie Mackinnon.
Absolutely.
And his upcoming book, Tackles and Boardroom Battles.
Oh, what a title.
Yeah, I mean,
fantastic.
You can tell from the title alone that we're in for quite a story.
Yeah, you get a sense of the man there.
Absolutely. And we're going to be focusing on Davie's time playing for the Glasgow Giants Rangers.
Of course.
And Partick Thistle as well.
Another great Glasgow team.
Now, if you want to hear more from Davie himself,
yes,
he actually has a book launch event coming up on the 24th of November, 2024.
All right.
At the Hillhead Library in Glasgow.
And I hear there's some special guests going to be there as well.
That's right. Former players Gordon Smith and Tony Higgins will be there.
Wow.
If you're a Scottish football fan, this is one you don't want to miss.
Absolutely not.
But first, let's dive into Davie's story as told in his book.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first of all, I think it's really interesting how Davie opens up about his early life.
Yeah.
And some of the difficulties he faced.
It takes a lot of courage to do that.
Yeah.
Especially in his line of work.
Yeah, he talks about the impact of his mother's postnatal depression. And imagine being a young boy and witnessing your mother's personality change after undergoing electric shock therapy.
That's a really difficult thing for a child to process.
Yeah, and it really just highlights the importance of mental health awareness.
Absolutely, especially in professional sports. It's something that's thankfully getting more attention these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to Davie's football journey.
Right.
Which actually begins at Arsenal.
Okay.
A bit of a step away from the Scottish leagues that he ends up conquering later on.
It is, yeah, a long way.
Yeah, and it sounds like he was so close to breaking into that first team.
Yeah.
But he ultimately made the decision to leave.
Right.
Even though the manager was giving him reassurances.
It's a tough choice for any young player.
Right.
Balancing the desire for success with the need to actually get out there and play.
Exactly, get that experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's this really funny anecdote.
Oh, yeah.
About Davie appearing on Top of the Pops, unknowingly, while he was home for Christmas from Arsenal.
What?
So picture this. He's back in Scotland, enjoying the festive season, probably dancing with his friends, and boom, he's on national television.
That's brilliant.
I know.
It just shows you that you never know what life is going to throw at you.
Absolutely.
Especially in football.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world.
Now, let's shift our focus back up to Scotland.
All right.
To Davie's time at Dundee.
Okay.
And it wasn't all smooth sailing there, you know.
No, of course not.
He talks about this mental block that he encountered that really started to affect his performance.
It's amazing how much the mental side of the game can impact you.
It is, yeah.
If your head's not right, your body's not going to follow.
Luckily for Davie, he met Jackie Husband.
Oh, yeah.
Who was a legendary figure in the game at that time.
What a name as well.
I know. Jackie Husband.
And he really helped him to overcome this hurdle.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It seems like Jackie Husband was a real pioneer in terms of understanding the psychological side of sports performance.
Yeah, and he really emphasized the importance of the mental game alongside the physical strength and all of that.
Absolutely. It's all connected.
Yeah.
It's one thing being physically fit, but if you're not mentally prepared, you're not going to get very far.
No, absolutely.
So it sounds like Jackie really helped him in that respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And beyond the training and the matches, Davie's time at Dundee was full of these stories of pranks and camaraderie, especially with his roommate, Eric Shadler.
The bonds that you build in the locker room are unlike anything else.
Yeah, and it's really lovely to hear those stories because it just kind of gives you a glimpse into that side of professional sports.
Yeah, the human side.
Yeah.
Which people often forget about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not all about winning and losing.
No.
It's about the friendships you make along the way.
Exactly.
The people that you share those experiences with.
Absolutely.
That's what really matters in the end.
Okay, so now we move on to Partick Thistle.
Another great team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Davie encountered the legendary Bertie Auld.
Oh, Bertie?
A manager known for his
demanding,
but
supportive style.
Yeah, and
he was a character and a half.
He really was.
I mean, can you imagine playing a full practice match?
As a pregame ritual?
I can't even imagine doing that in training, never mind, before an actual match.
Yeah, and that was just Bertie Auld for you.
That's incredible. I mean, talk about getting your players fired up.
Yeah.
He must have had some strong opinions on how the game should be played.
Yeah, definitely.
And it sounds like he knew how to get the best out of his players,
yeah.
even if his methods were a bit unorthodox.
And then there's those legendary characters in that Thistle dressing room as well.
Oh, yeah. Like who?
Like Alan Ruff.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Whitaker.
Oh, what a team that was.
Yeah, and they all added their own little...
A bit of spice.
Yeah, to the team dynamic.
Absolutely.
Okay, and now we arrive at...
the big time.
A significant chapter.
Yeah.
In Davie's story.
Okay.
His move to Rangers.
Wow, the club he had always dreamed of playing for.
Exactly.
That must have been a special moment for him.
Yeah.
A real dream come true.
And his first encounter with the formidable Jock Wallace.
Oh, Jock Wallace.
Is an experience he'll never forget.
I can imagine.
Jock, known for his no-nonsense approach, asks Davie, how many touches do you need to control the ball, son?
Talk about cutting to the chase.
I know.
Jock didn't waste any time.
He really didn't.
He wanted to know what you were made of right from the start.
Exactly.
No messing around.
And I love Davie's response.
What did he say?
He says 3.
3.
2 to control it and 1 to fit up to the striker. And Jock just bursts out laughing.
You must have appreciated that.
Yeah, I think it was just that...
A bit of honesty.
Yeah, and humor.
Yeah, and that Scottish grit.
And it shows that Davie wasn't intimidated by Jock's reputation.
He stood up for himself and showed his personality.
Exactly, yeah.
And it obviously made an impression on Jock as well.
Yeah, it's a great example of how a little bit of humor and honesty can just kind of disarm even the toughest of individuals.
It's about building a connection. Even if it's through a bit of banter.
Yeah, and it marks the beginning of Davie's memorable journey with the Glasgow Giants.
That's where things start to get really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get into all of that right after this break.
Sounds good.
All right, welcome back to our deep dive into the life and career of Davie Mackinnon.
It's a fascinating story.
It really is. And we're just getting started.
I'm excited to hear more.
Now, playing for Rangers is a dream for so many young Scottish footballers.
Oh, absolutely.
And Davie was no exception. But it wasn't all champagne and trophies,
No, I mean, every player faces setbacks at some point.
Exactly. And he talks about one moment in particular that was a real blow for him.
Right.
Being left out of the 1984 Scottish Cup final squad.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it really highlights the ups and downs that athletes experience, even at the highest level.
Especially when you've contributed so much to get the team there.
Yeah, and that feeling of being overlooked.
Yeah.
It can be devastating.
It really can. I mean, you put in all that work, all that effort, and then you don't get to be a part of the big day.
And Davie, being Davie, he didn't let this setback define him.
Okay.
He actually went to Jock.
Wow.
Demanded an explanation.
He wanted answers.
Yeah, and expressed his frustration.
I mean, that takes guts.
It does, yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with a figure like Jock Wallace.
Exactly.
He wasn't exactly known for being soft and cuddly.
No, he was not.
So what happened? How did Jock react?
Well, to Jock's credit, he listened.
Okay.
He acknowledged Davie's value to the team. And he actually ensured that Davie received a share of the win bonus.
Even though he didn't play?
Even though he didn't play?
It's a sign of a true leader.
It is, yeah.
Recognizing that everyone contributes to the success of the team.
Exactly.
Even those who aren't on the pitch on the big day.
Yeah, it's a great example of how open communication can lead to stronger relationships and a more kind of cohesive team environment.
Even when there are disagreements.
Even when there are disagreements.
They'll still find a way to come together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, beyond those interactions with Jock, Davie's time at Rangers was full of moments.
Right.
Shared with these legendary figures.
Okay.
Like Ally McCoist, Russell.
What a player.
And it really highlights that human side of football.
Yeah, that's what people sometimes forget.
Yeah.
Behind all the rivalry and competition, there's these genuine friendships that last a lifetime.
And there's this really touching story.
Oh, yeah?
That Davie recounts.
Okay.
About visiting a terminally ill young Rangers fan with Ally McCoist.
Wow.
And Robert Pritz.
That's amazing.
And it really shows the compassion and the empathy that exists within the world of professional sports.
Absolutely. They're not just robots.
No.
They're real people.
Yeah.
With hearts.
With big hearts.
And they care about their communities.
Yeah. And Davie's journey with Rangers holds such a special place in his heart.
Of course.
But his time at Partick Thistle is equally significant.
Right. So tell me about that.
Yeah, it's where he honed his skills, developed his leadership qualities, and experienced that unique atmosphere of a club that's so deeply rooted in its community.
That's like a family.
Yeah. And for those of you going to Davie's book event, you'll actually have the opportunity to hear firsthand about his experiences with both of these iconic clubs.
It's a chance to get a real behind-the-scenes look.
Exactly.
At what makes Glasgow football so special.
And with Gordon Smith and Tony Higgins there?
Yeah.
I mean, you're in for a treat.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic event.
So moving beyond Davie's playing days. His transition from the pitch to football administration brought a whole new set of challenges, starting with his role at Kilmarnock. He had to navigate the contrasting languages
I can imagine.
of the dressing room and the boardroom.
It's two completely different worlds.
It is. 1 minute you're talking tactics and motivation. And the next you're talking budgets and contracts.
It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, it is.
But it sounds like Davie took it all in his stride.
He did. And he actually shares this really funny anecdote about a golf match. Where he and Jim Jeffries refused to let their bosses win.
Even though they were outmatched.
They were completely outmatched.
That competitive spirit never leaves you.
It really doesn't.
Once an athlete, always an athlete.
Exactly. Some things never change even when you trade your boots for a suit.
That's brilliant. I love that story.
I know.
It just goes to show that no matter what you do in life, if you've got that competitive fire in your belly, it's always going to be there.
Absolutely. And Davie's experiences in the boardroom weren't always straightforward.
No, I mean, every job has its challenges.
Exactly. He talks about encountering some pretty challenging personalities.
Well, I bet.
Which really forced him to kind of hone his communication and leadership skills.
It's a constant learning process.
It is, yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with people from all walks of life.
Yeah. And those experiences offer some really valuable insights. For anyone who's navigating the business world.
Absolutely. I mean, those lessons apply to so many different areas of life.
Yeah. He learned the importance of things like diplomacy. Negotiation, building relationships.
That's all about people skills.
Yeah, even with people who might have totally different views.
That's the real test of a good leader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you find common ground with people who see the world differently than you?
Exactly.
That's when you know you've got something special.
And Davie's encounters with football agents
the agent.
provide a really fascinating glimpse into that kind of often unseen world.
It's a bit of a mystery to most people.
Yeah, and he actually categorizes agents into 3 groups.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So you've got those who genuinely care about their clients' careers.
Right, the good guys.
Then you've got those who are only focused on financial gain.
The money men.
And then there are those who operate in morally questionable ways.
Well, that's to say they're not winning any popularity contests.
No, they're not.
So what's Davie's take on all of this?
Well, he really emphasizes the importance of finding an agent who understands the game. Who prioritizes the player's development. And who operates with integrity.
It's about finding someone you can trust.
Exactly.
Someone who has your best interests at heart.
Absolutely. And beyond the technical aspects of the game, Davie's story touches on something that's becoming more and more important. The long-term impact of concussions on athlete health.
That's a really crucial issue.
It is, yeah.
And it's something that we need to be talking about more.
Yeah, and his firsthand accounts really provide some valuable insights.
He's been there, he's experienced it.
Yeah, and he really highlights the need for greater awareness. Proper protocols. And a shift in the culture.
It's about putting the athlete's well-being first.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be about winning at all costs.
And his willingness to share those experiences is commendable.
Absolutely. He's using his platform to make a difference.
Yeah, and it underscores the importance of that open dialogue to protect athletes from the potential consequences of head injuries.
It's a long game. You have to think about the future.
Absolutely.
Not just the immediate result.
And Davie's journey isn't just defined by football.
No, of course not. He's a whole person.
He talks about his struggles with anxiety and the importance of seeking help.
It's so important to break down the stigma.
It is.
Especially for men. In a profession that's often associated with strength and resilience.
And it's so powerful that he's sharing this. It encourages others to seek support.
It's okay not to be okay.
Exactly. It's a sign of strength, not weakness.
Asking for help is a sign of strength.
Absolutely. And Davie's story also really highlights the importance of family loyalty, those values that have shaped his life.
It's about what really matters.
Yeah. And he shares the story of his father's passing.
Right.
Which was a really significant moment for him.
It makes you reevaluate your priorities.
Yeah, it brings into focus the things that truly matter.
Family, friends, your health.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's all about in the end.
And speaking of life's unexpected turns, Davie opens up about a recent health scare.
Oh, no. What happened?
Yeah, it actually led to the discovery of a heart condition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's really transformed him into an advocate for heart screening in athletes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he really emphasizes the importance of early detection and intervention.
It can make all the difference.
Yeah.
Catching things early can save lives.
And I think this deep dive has really given us a glimpse into a remarkable life.
Absolutely. Davie's story is full of ups and downs.
It is, yeah.
Triumphs and setbacks.
And it's all told with such honesty and humor.
And humility.
Yeah, and his book, Tackles and Boardroom Battles, really captures all of that.
It's a must-read for any football fan.
It is, and for anyone who's interested in leadership, resilience, and the power of the human spirit.
Absolutely. It's an inspiring story.
It really is. And remember, you can meet Davie in person.
That's right.
At his book launch event on November 24th.
At the Hillhead Library in Glasgow.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive,
I'm
really struck by Davie's ability to embrace challenges.
Yeah, he never gives up.
Adapt to new situations.
And find purpose.
Both within and beyond the world of football.
It's a reminder that we all have the potential to do great things.
Yeah, no matter what life throws our way.
It's about finding your passion
and
making a positive impact on the world.
So thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And we hope you've been inspired by Davie's story.